Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another forecasting video. In today's forecast, we're going to be discussing this upcoming heat wave, the tropics, and the Jetstream pattern. Let's get into this. Alright, taking a look at the highs for today, it's going to get really gross out. This is Monday at 5 p.m. It's going to get disgusting out. 91 down in Callaway, 91 and 92 over in McCracken, and over in Massac. It's going to get gross out today. In addition to the hot temperatures, the humidity is also going to be really high. Over in 62 down in Callaway, 66 over in McCracken. It's going to get very hot today, very humid, and no rain expected for the next 3 weeks. Let's go and take a look at this heat dome. I found some good news about this on when it's actually going to end and get out of our area. So let's get straight into that. So this is Sunday. As you could tell, it was extremely hot yesterday. This heat dome was unbelievable. But as we progress it out through this week, this is Monday. As you can tell, it is still very on top of us. The worst of it is still here. As we progress it out through Wednesday, it's still here. The worst of this heat wave will most likely be Wednesday, because it's just going to be gross out, unholy disgusting out on Wednesday. As we progress it out on Thursday, as you can tell, it starts to shift a little bit towards the west, which is good news for us because we don't want this heat. California, New Mexico, Arizona can have all this weather. We don't want it. As you can tell, as we progress it through Friday, look at it. It's really starting to shift west, which is really good for us. It's still going to be really hot out on Friday, though, and Saturday, but it will not be as bad as it would have been through the middle of this week. As we can tell, as we shift it through Saturday and Sunday, it's really starting to die and dissipate. But it's still going to be pretty warm out in our area, but not as bad as it would be through the middle of this week. And by the time we shift around to Monday and Tuesday of next week, it'll all but be gone from our forecasting area, which is really good news, and hopefully we can finally return to some normal weather. Alright, taking a look at the 500 millibar maps, this is the Jetstream. This dictates the weather in the United States. As you can tell, you can see this big old giant heat dome, obviously. That's what I've been whining about for the past 4 days, and that's going to start to really dictate our weather. This big heat dome is going to be blocking all this 500 millibar flow from the United States, the central portion of it at least, and this will prevent some disturbances, storm systems, and some colder temperatures through the middle of the United States. As we progress this through Wednesday and Thursday, look at this. This heat wave is still in place, and it starts to really push this 500 millibar flow upwards towards Canada, away from the central portion of the United States. This is basically a huge blocking pattern. This could prevent any flow coming in to the United States, central portion at least, and giving us some cooler temperatures and some storm systems and some much needed rain. So that's very unfortunate. And as we progress this through on Friday, we're still gonna stay in this big blocking pattern, even though the 500 millibar, this big old high pressure system, is starting to move westward. It's still going to stay in this pattern, and looks like there's going to be no relief for this anytime soon as we move it out through Thursday of next week. This big high pressure system is still here, but it does look like some flow and some jet stream dipping down has opened up for us, luckily, which will be good. But then again, this is almost a week and a half out, so I don't really trust it at this point. Anything could change, but that is a hopeful sign to see. And last but not least, looking at the tropics right now, this is all the disturbances in the Atlantic right now, and obviously it looks a lot different than it was in the last video. So right now we have 3 tropical storms that have been named: Gert, Emily, and Franklin. Right now, none of these tropical storms seem like no threat to the United States. This big 60% chance of a tropical storm depression or storm formation within the next 7 days appears likely. This will most likely affect Texas, bringing strong winds and some much needed rain down there. But right now, these big time tropical storms do not seem no threat to the United States mainland. And again, taking a look at the 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook from the National Hurricane Center, as you can tell, this is a 60% chance of a formation happening within the next 7 days, but it looks like there will be no landfall in the United States unless something changes. This is not on track to make landfall in the United States. This one is more of a concerning one. Obviously, I do not expect this to become a hurricane, but this tropical depression or storm will have favorable environments to upscale and potentially become quite the tropical storm, impacting the lower portions of Texas, bringing strong winds and much needed rainfall for Texas. I want to thank you guys for tuning into this forecasting video. This video is a little bit shorter than normal, but that's because we just don't really have a lot to talk about. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this forecasting video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to stay in the loop for any weather information. I'll see you guys in the next forecasting video. Whoop!